Mike Moore Media.
In our studios, Dr. John Stover, Superintendent of Rockingham County Schools. Dr. Stover, hello and welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Mike, and thank you as always for having me. I hope you had a great New Year and you enjoyed your trip to Maryland.
We did. It was wonderful. And you had a good holiday too?
I did. Very low-key. Got to catch up on some things, which is always a good opportunity.
Okay. Let's catch up on some things with Rockingham County Schools today, here in the new year. First, some events coming up we need to know about.
Yes. On Monday, during MLK holiday, we have our big robotics tournament. It's a statewide tournament, and of course, McMichael and Moorhead are co-hosting and will be participating and hopefully winning the tournament. But I don't think I went to my first robotics tournament in North Carolina. I had done some in Texas, and it's surprisingly interesting. It's not quite battle bots, but it's really interesting to see the kids have to come up with this robotics tournament, a robot that they designed themselves. Yeah. And there is nationally, there's kind of a program they have to do. Last year, it was gathering up disc and then shooting the disc into a basketball goal. And there was like this arena. And it was interesting. I saw what we were doing in Rockingham, and then I happened to do a visit to Colorado where they also had a really strong robotics team, and they were doing the same thing. And so what I love about it is it gives kids ownership in creating and problem solving. And lots of times the robot doesn't quite work the way they think it will, or it was working, then something happens. And in these tournaments, they then have the opportunity to go back and make tweaks and see what didn't happen and problem solve. And so it's a safe way to make mistakes and then fix them. And that's what we want our kids to be able to do. We want them to be, when they graduate, I'm calling it choice ready, Mike. We want them to have the ability to make whatever choice makes sense for them, to have the knowledge, mindset, and skills to be able to say, yes, I want to go to college, or yes, I want to pursue this career and then go to college, or I think the military is for me. And if one pathway doesn't work, they're able to problem solve and get back to another pathway because we've provided them everything they would need. We've provided them access to college courses. We've provided them credentials, industry recognized credentials. And to that point, Mike, we are, the latest numbers I have, 69% of our students have achieved some sort of credential our first semester, and that's only going to rise because that does not include the Health Sciences Academy here in Moorhead High School, which is one of our big producers of credentials. And that is a significant increase. I think it might even be the highest we've had for credentials. And that matters for our kids. It's they can take it and say to an employer, here, this is what I can do, and here's proof of it. It's not us saying they can do it, but it's an industry-recognized credential.
Thank you for sharing that good news. Back to the robotics just for a moment. Moorhead recognized not only on the state level, but nationally too. They were
the North Carolina representative for the national competition that happened in Dallas, Texas last year. And they were honored for being one of the most cooperative and problem-solving oriented robotics teams in the world, because this is a world competition. Wow. And I looked on when they went. I wish I could have gone to Dallas with them, but I couldn't. When I was looking at on who they were competing with, they were competing with a team from Bulgaria, teams from Africa, and I think a team from Taiwan, as well as some American teams. So it truly was a world competition. And it just goes to show you, when you and I were going through school, athletics was the primary outlet for our kids, and I participated in it. But we have so many more opportunities for our students to shine and show who they are. In fact, one thing I forgot to tell you in our pre-meeting, we also have two students from Moorhead, James Martin and Chuck Southern, who are going to the Adobe national Adobe competition in Florida in June. Sheila Thompson is their advisor, and they were the state winner, so they qualify for the national in creating Adobe documents and problem solving. And so we're just happy for them as well. So lots of good things going on for our kids that are other than athletics, and we are very happy with our athletic programs. But we're so much more than that in Rockingham County.
So many other opportunities, as you said. Congratulations to those young people.
Yes.
Well, that's great. And a special meeting coming up on the 25th you wanted to tell us about.
That's right. We are working in conjunction with the Center for Safe Schools. They are doing a series of awareness meetings to talk about sex trafficking of our teenagers and to raise the awareness of that. And it's one of those things that we don't want to talk about because the possibility of that happening is so abhorrent for everyone. But we want to make sure that everybody is aware of what happens, because the folks who target our kids are really good at doing that. And with social, and that's one of the reasons we joined our social media lawsuit that I think we got lots of publicity over since the last time we spoke, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
On the news, is we don't think those companies are doing enough to protect our kids, and they're becoming advanced on how they do it. You know, they might send an Insta post that says, hey, modeling or whatever, and the students are attracted to it, and then they can lead them down some dark roads. So they're doing a series of events throughout the state, and in our region, they asked us to partner with them, and that is happening on the 25th at Moorhead High School from 6 to 7:30. And the public's invited, and I hope people will come out and hear about this and raise awareness and be able to communicate to, even if you don't have kids in schools. You know, if you have a grandson, granddaughter, nieces, nephews, close friends, it can happen to anyone in an instant, and we want to make sure that we're at least arm everybody with awareness and strategies.
It is real, and it is here, and that's Thursday, the 25th for that meeting. Very good. Yes. Okay. Yesterday was National Human Trafficking Day. I saw some activities going on in the schools with that on your Facebook page.
That's right. And, it's also a community issue as well. And I know some of our local churches are hosting some events as well. And I appreciate that because it takes a community connected and working together in order to solve tricky problems. And I think this is a great example. And another great example of that, Mike, is how we were able to work with our county commissioners, our community, the county staff, my staff, Ursel Young in particular, did an amazing job creating a prioritized kind of scorecard that we've been using to use the quarter-cent sales tax that all of us pay. And so this is why it's important to shop locally in Rockingham County, because some of it goes to help us out, and specifically with school construction projects. We're able to work with a whole team. We have a committee on our board, and the county commissioners have a committee. Commissioner Berger and Commissioner Hall from the county commissioners represent them, and Ms. Rakestraw and Ms. McMichael represent the Board of Education. And we've worked almost over a year on a project to do a combination of debt financing, some small debt financing, and you pay as you go money that we are getting from a combination of some lottery funds, the quarter-cent sales tax, and about $900,000 the county appropriates every year to us for capital construction to really make some massive improvements and catch us up on some much needed renovations and repairs, particularly roofs and air conditioning, but also things like safety. We're going to upgrade all of our intercoms and alarm systems in our schools. We're going to put safety lobbies. We have a program of putting safety lobbies in all of our schools. The first one that will be completed is actually at Holmes Middle School, where there'll be a lobby and with bulletproof glass separating. So not only will it be hard for anyone to come in, but you know what happened in Nashville, the person just shot the glass. They won't be able to do that at Holmes. And so we're doing those types of things, but it also includes new playgrounds at We have one that we're going to do a ribbon cutting on in Stoneville that is handicap accessible and with actually equipment designed for students with limited mobility. We're doing the same thing at Leakesville Spray and Moss Street. We're going to have new lighting at all of our high schools. New floors will go into Reedsville Middle School. We're going to have new paving in some of our parking lots, particularly in high school. And all of our known roof issues will be taken care of. Additionally, we have a new chiller going in at Moorhead High School because the other one is definitely on its last leg, and new HVAC for Central Elementary. Those units are over 30 years old.
You're talking about some big bucks.
Yes.
Lots of projects.
Lots of projects, and we're able to do that because my predecessor, Dr. Shotwell, and it was very good at managing the funds. We have where a lot of this money has gone to is Douglas Elementary. That was new construction, and that was debt financed through the county and school system. We have our last big payment this year. And we're able to dedicate a lot of that money to renovation and repair. But we also did work with the county to issue up from anywhere from $17 to $24 million in bonds over the next 4 years to pay for some of these projects. I want to get started on as many as I can immediately, but particularly with roofing projects, it takes some time to get approval from the state. To find the folks who are able to, the construction partners who are able to do the work well and get the drawings and schematics. And so I think in our first tranche of roofs, we're going to take care of some real pressing issues. Reedsville High School auditorium, they have a small roof issue that causes, anytime it rains, it actually leaks into the concession area. So that's getting paid, taken care of. At McMichael, we're going to totally redo the roofs there. We're going to also, one of the things I did not mention is that we're also doing a track upgrade at McMichael. Okay. That'll be the last of our high schools that has not had their track upgraded, and so we're excited for that. So lots of things going on that hit every area of the county and all of our schools. And then moving forward, we have a scoring system and a process where we are being proactive. So we have it. We've actually got all of our roofs built out so that in 2028, we know we will inspect certain roofs, be ready to replace them if needed. Same thing with HVAC, and we have kind of money dedicated set aside for that. We don't know if we'll actually need to use it or not, but we have a plan so that we know we can address this, and we're not hopefully going to get in the catch-up mode a little bit like we are now.
Always good to be proactive, plan ahead, not catching up.
Yeah, that's how I try to live my life, Mike. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for the good news here today. Only about a minute left. John, anything else you'd like to mention?
I would. The last thing, we had Nina Walls on here, who's our CTE director, and she's really key in helping us to get Choice Ready and to have the great record of credentials that we have. We had our CTE monitoring visit by the state, which is the first one I think we've had in 7 years or so. And in the middle of Nina's presentation, the monitors actually said to us, well, you guys are really a leader in what you're doing because of how we're connecting our middle school to our high school to industry and the kind of, again, partnership we have with Lee Cockrum. Our county commissioners are very interested in this, and Dr. Kinlaw at the community college. So great things happen when you connect with others, when you partner with others, and you really stay dedicated on the idea of providing great choices for our kids here in Rockingham County.
John Stover, thank you. Always good to have you here, and thanks for the good report. Good things happening with Rockingham County Schools.
Yes, sir.
All right. All the best this year. Dr. John Stover, superintendent of our schools here in Rockingham County. You can get more information on their Facebook page. I was on that right as we were starting the podcast today. Lots of good information updated all through the day, all through the week at Rockingham County Schools. And thanks for your support.